guys, and thank you for joining me again on another video. Today, after huge popular request, I am going to make for you that beautiful, super simple, super moist, luxurious, absolutely amazing coffee cake. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. It's so easy, and it's one of those really lovely classics that if somebody's coming for tea and you put this on the table, they're going to be wowed. I don't think I know anybody who doesn't love coffee cake. And the nice thing about this coffee cake is it's not sweet because we are using real espresso coffee made from the espresso machine. So it is really strong, and the icing will have a little hint of Bailey's, which always helps. And it's absolutely delicious. So you've got to give this cake a try. Let me run through with you first of all what we're going to need and the ingredients. We're going to make the cake, and then while it's in the oven, another hugely popular item that my viewers have been asking for is for me to show them the inside of my beautiful blue small bone dresser. So I will do that in the interval whilst the cake is in the oven. First thing, get your oven heated to 180 fan, gas mark 6, and Chris will link for you what it is in Fahrenheit. I should really know at this stage, but anyway, you'll forgive me, won't you? Please forgive me. Yes, I need to have a little chart. Chris has just informed me. Chris, you're the director, editor. You should have the chart ready for me. However, you will need, today I'm making it in 2 8-inch round sandwich pans. I've also made it in a bundt tin. You can make it in whatever tin you like, as long as your tin is big enough to fit your mixture and it doesn't spill out over the top. Bowl and a sieve, an electric whisk. You will also need, let's go through the ingredients. 230 grams of caster sugar. You need 230 grams of softened butter, and I've just left it here sitting on the aga so it gets nice and soft. You need 200 grams of plain flour, 60 grams of chopped walnuts, and this is the walnuts that are going to be going into the cake batter, and then we will also need walnuts, whole walnuts for on the top, if you can manage to get whole walnuts out of the bag. So we will get them. And in this bowl here, I have 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, bread soda, or bicarbonate of soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And they're all going to get sieved in with the flour. I also have over here 4 large eggs, or in my case, because my chickens are a bit bored, 5 medium eggs. So they're going to be going in also. Some lovely espresso. If you do not have espresso, do not worry. 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, any instant coffee, with a little bit of boiling water to make it into a paste, and that will be your coffee. The stronger the coffee, the stronger the flavour of the cake. But, Nikolai's secret, because of my experience in cooking with Greek food as well, thanks to my lovely Yaya Bobby, God rest her soul, I can show you a little secret. Sometimes when chefs make a syrup for a cake to make it moist, they make like a stock syrup, which involves a lot of sugar. So we don't want to sweeten this cake. We want it to be a strong coffee cake, and we know that coffee isn't sweet. So what I do is, when the cake is cold, the sponges are cold, I lace them with hot coffee. You have to do either one or the other. So either you take the cakes out of the oven and you immediately pour cold coffee over the top, spoon it over the top, or you reverse it and you do a cold sponge with a hot coffee. Okay, I hope I haven't confused you there, but it's hot to cold, cold to hot. I'm using cold for in the batter, and then when the cakes are made, secret, don't tell anyone, we're going to put hot espresso coffee over the sponges so that the coffee absorbs into the sponge and makes the sponge really, really moist. Not wet, but moist. Okay, so you have it firsthand from Nikolai. Okay, so we're going to do the cake batter first, and then I'll talk to you about the 3 or 4 ingredients for the icing for the top and in the middle. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our softened butter into our bowl, our sugar, that's all going in, and then we're going to mix that together. Nice and slowly at first until you get the butter incorporated with the sugar, and then you can turn your mixer speed up to get it completely Okay, so that's our butter and sugar creamed together really nicely. And now we're going to add our eggs. So that the eggs we always crack our eggs into a separate bowl to make sure that they're okay before we add them into our mix. So we're going to do these, incorporate them one at a time. So Carmelo says hello to everyone. However, he's not filming today because Chris is here. Chris is giving him a break from the filming. Okay, so into our bowl we're going to sieve in our flour and our baking powder, bicarbonate soda and salt all going in there, and we're just going to sieve that in. Also going to add into there, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of our beautiful cooled coffee mix. Okay, and we're going to beat that in together. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to scrape down the sides of my bowl again to make sure all my flour gets incorporated. Into this batter now is going our 80 grams of chopped walnuts. I like to keep them some fine and some a little bit coarser of the walnuts, so that everybody gets a little bit of everything. I'm going to add just another tablespoon of the coffee essence. Coffee essence. Blonde moment. My coffee. My real coffee. Not essence at all. Okay, another tablespoon going in there, because we want it to kind of be of a dropping consistency that we can drop it into our... Make sure, just take a look underneath, dig it up and make sure that all your flour has been incorporated. And now I'm just going to divide the mixture equally between my 2 tins. Okay. Tins now, and they're ready for the oven. So they're going into the oven preheated, and they're going to be in there for 25 to 30 minutes. I'll check on them. They just want to be a nice golden color and a little bit springy to the touch. Okay, so cakes are in the oven, and now we're going to make the icing. So for the icing, you need 350 grams of icing sugar, which we are going to sieve always, and we need 180 grams of softened butter. So first thing is put your softened butter into your bowl. Then we're also going to need some more of that lovely espresso coffee. I will let you know how much as we're putting it in. And then we will also need 2 tablespoons of Irish cream Baileys. You can omit the Baileys if you want, but it really does add a delicious flavour to the butter frosting on this cake. So first thing is cream your butter. Okay, so cream your butter just for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to add into that our sieved icing sugar, or we're going to sieve into that our icing sugar. Okay, so icing sugar is sifted in, and now we're just going to slowly incorporate it. Remember, we don't want that fountain of dust everywhere. I always laugh because I always say my mother always rings me right at the right time, and she's ringing my phone just now. But, oh, okay, in goes our 2 tablespoons of Baileys. 1, 2, oops. That's our 2 tablespoons of Baileys, and then we have our 2 tablespoons of coffee. 1, 2. And now we will incorporate all that together. Okay, and that now, my friends, is a delicious, lovely, fluffy, light butter coffee frosting. So I'll try. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. So we're going to wait for the cakes to finish cooking. We'll have to let the cakes go completely cold. Then we will add our hot coffee liquid, and then we will let them cool again. So let's open the doors and have a look inside. So the inside is painted in a beautiful stone. And, you know, I mean, considering this was painted 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago, I can't quite remember. See, the memory. It was painted so well that, you know, there's only a very odd chip which helps to add to the patina of it. Some beautiful old lace cloths which were from Chris's mum from the village when she crocheted them. She was very good. She made a few tablecloths as well, which I still have. Here is a lovely, very old antique teapot, which is stamped, but there is no name. And you can tell because it's actually transparent. You can actually see through it. So it is original. And it has the little hole there to allow the steam to escape. And just a beautiful, beautiful little teapot. The beautiful design. So we have a lot of jelly molds. And I just love them in all different designs. And again, these are all made in England, handmade in England. This has got a beautiful daisy flower. This is burley-ware as well. I can't quite remember. Is it the one with the hole that we can use as a jelly mold?
You can use it.
Yeah, you can. I'm sure you can. I never have, and actually I should do because I love moulded jelly. I don't know if you ever go to any of the stately houses owned by the National Trust, you'll always see, if the table is dressed for dining, you'll always see a blancmange. that traditional English British dessert, and it's always been made in a jelly mold like such as these. And so I have a few different ones, and so what I'll do is I'll take them out and I'll show you the different designs. This one is a beautiful one with the acorns. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got beautiful acorns on the design there. Here we have another beautiful platter. I would use this if I'm doing a very small roast, like a roast pork or something. Really beautiful. I do have to say, I use everything in my kitchen. I am a firm believer, if you've got it, use it. Don't store it away. These items were always used by people in years gone by, which is why they've got the odd chip, the odd crack, the odd imperfection. And it just really makes you feel special when you sit and you enjoy a meal from them. It makes you feel like, wow, how these people lived years ago. Here I have another platter, which is spode, I think. Am I correct in saying it's spode, Chris?
Willow.
Oh, is it willow again? Is willow not spode? Are they not the same?
No.
No, okay. So this is willow.
Spode is the manufacturer, willow's the
Pattern,
design.
the design, yes.
So
So I also have some dinner plates in exactly the same design. They weren't bought together, they were bought separately. And I also have some small plates. And I think actually in this bottom cupboard I've got a lot of bowls and things in this design with the gold rim. And even though it's got the gold rim, I still use it. It's beautiful. Here we have something that's a little bit of fun. And this is a little milk jug in a cow, which is quite fun. So you pour the milk in there and it comes out of his mouth. Nice little thing. And this is also stunning. So this is a soup tureen, which I use every Christmas. On Christmas Day, we have our course of soup out of this. And again, it's from Burley and it's the Asiatic pheasant, and it's got a beautiful ladle as well inside. So I make my cream of vegetable soup and I put my fresh cream on the top and garnish it with some lovely chopped parsley. And this, I have to say, everybody goes, wow, when this comes out. Shall I tell you what Chris calls me? He has a cheek. I often hear him talking to clients and go, see him over there? That is Jackie Onassis. How dare he? He calls me Jackie Onassis. You can figure out the rest and you can figure out why yourselves. Okay, there's the alarm for the sponges. Let's go and get them out of the oven. Okay, so the cakes have had 25 minutes in the oven. They've been out of the oven for 10 minutes left on the cooling rack, and now we're going to turn them out. So literally run your knife around the edge just to make sure they're not stuck, but they should come away from the edge anyway themselves, which I can feel they have done. And onto your wire rack, upside down, and there we go. Cake 1. Cake 2. Again, run your knife around the edge. Be careful if you have non-stick pans not to scrape and damage your pans by doing it. And again, over we go and down, and there we are. And the first thing we're going to do is our hot coffee on our cold sponge. And we're going to literally drizzle that right the way around. I mean, I've probably got about 250 mils of hot coffee here. So using your palette knife, tease it out to the edges from the center. Don't worry if a little bit spills out over the side. It's actually quite nice. Very homemade looking. Oh, guys, I swear to you, if you could smell this, it must be the real coffee mixed with the Baileys. It has to be, because I've made coffee cakes before in the past, several of them, and I've never experienced a smell like this. It's just, I think it's just Carmelo's Italian coffee. We're going to have to get a hold of it somehow. Okay, so now we're going to put our next sponge on top, and we're going to repeat the same thing with the coffee. We're going to pour our coffee into our sponge, starting from the center, working our way out towards the edges. And that has completed all of our beautiful, beautiful coffee. turning my board all the time, or my plate, whatever I'm using. What you don't want to do is you don't want to put one big dollop in the middle and start spreading it, because you'll find that because the cake is moist, you'll start to pull the cake up with the weight of the palette knife. So we're not going to do that. We're going to tease it out very gently. Now let's get our walnuts, and we're going to place them around the edges. Okay, we're going to try and find whole ones. We're going to place them quite close together, because I think everybody who has a slice of coffee cake should have a walnut, a full one, with their piece of cake. So keep them nice and close together. Elegant. All about elegance and beauty. To make one. And from Nikolai, Chris, Scooter, and Carmelo, bellissimo, bonissimo, and enjoy. And please do make this wonderful coffee cake. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. And join me again for another video very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care, my friends.